Hello and welcome to Tear Down These Walls podcast. Here we tear down the walls of silence, shame and stigma one story at a time. And today for episode 8, I have the lovely Davie Fay. Davie, you're very welcome. You're looking across with that big smile that you always have. It's great to have you.
Thanks very much for having me, Lisa.
I know it was a bit of an ordeal coming in, but my apologies for that. But yeah, I suppose, Davie, we'll start off the way I usually do, and I'm always feeling a bit nervous. As soon as you get talking, usually just to forget you're even doing this, that it's a podcast, like myself. But I always start with, so I know you grew up in Sheriff Street.
Yeah.
And if you can tell us a little bit, like how many you had in the family and what it was like to grow up back in Sheriff Street in your time. You're a little bit older than me, so you were sort of the older generation when we were on the streets.
You remember your growing up, Lisa. Very well. We're in the same flats, actually, in St. Bridget's Gardens in Sheriff Street. And I come from a family of, there's 9 of us all together. That's including my mum and dad.
So there's 7 kids.
3 boys and 4 girls.
Yeah.
And I'm the eldest boy. And Debbie was the eldest girl. And now we came from, the family we had was a loving family. You know what I mean? There was no addiction, there was no alcohol or, do you know what I mean?
Criminality.
There was none of that kind of stuff growing up. But Sheriff Street, I have to say, was my playground.
I said the same on mine. It was like a playground. Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved Sheriff Street. But my early memories of Sheriff Street would be going around collecting bonfire, wasn't it? You know, all the innocent stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and it was amazing. And it was a group of us that was there together. It was me, Mel, Mitchell, Collie, Jimmy Barra. Jimmy was the best mate.
Yeah, Jimmy was...
He was my tearing.
Absolutely lovely guy as well.
I get emotional when I thought about him.
Yeah, I'm sure you do, baby. You okay?
Because he died on me night in the hospital with him.
How long is Jimmy gone now?
Jimmy's gone maybe 2 years now, I think.
It's 2 years, baby.
Yeah, and we used to take turns in the hospital with him, you know. But I'll get into that. I don't want to go to further on foods. Yeah, but growing up in Sheriff Street was great. It was brilliant. And it was, do you ever remember down in Sheriff Street, there was always the paintings up, no, really.
I was only telling someone about this last week from here. Well, they're from Skerries, and I was saying we used to spray on the walls, no go area. Well, people used to spray it.
Yeah, and, but it was great because we always looked up to the older generation. Do you know what I mean? Because all the lads in the street, they used to do the tracks, they used to get the cakes, they used to get the smoke truck, the LCOE, all that. And there was always a penny to be made in Sheriff Street.
Always.
So I was an addict before I actually used any substance. Because I was addicted to the robbing.
Yeah.
And there was a lot, loads was me and Jimmy Barra, I think.
Was it that adrenaline rush, though, that you got, you know, when you knew, like, even though it was the wrong thing, but when you got...
Yeah, but we didn't know right from wrong back then, Lisa.
I know.
Do you know what I mean? Because it was all the norm.
Was it a norm?
It was a norm in that street. But there was a group of us used to hang around together, gangs of us. And we were going to St. Lane's Hotel School. And we were little bastards. Seriously, we were bastards. But never forget, I got thrown out of St. Lane's Hotel School at a very, very young age. I think it must have been about 10. Because I heard the brother, he was read by Christian Brothers. And there was Butler, his name was there, and he was a pastor, he was the headmaster. But he with me with one of these letters. And because I wouldn't cry in front of everybody, I had to put on this big act, but he was I was crying inside.
Yeah.
It was killing me inside.
But he can.
I told him, I said, don't turn your back on me. And he did, and I hit him with a holy picture that used to be hanging on the back of the wall and down the bleeding. There used to be long desks and the pencils and all, and the ink.
Yeah.
The old desks, you know.
They were a bit before my time, but I remember seeing them then later.
He said, but I got expelled from the school. And there was always expelled me. There was, in a group at the time, hanging around the corner in Sheriff Street, there was 9 of us, right, with nowhere to go.
I was going to say, what did you do at that age then,
with
Davie?
Nowhere to go. We're hanging around the street. We were just bleeding, acting the bollocks, going around bleeding, trying to rob whatever wasn't nailed down.
Yeah.
And so they ended up saying, like, these are fucking torments. These are menaces.
Mm.
So they opened up this special school.
Boscos.
Boscos, right?
Boscos.
And 9 of us went into Boscos.
Isn't that Jim Sheridan's old house?
No. See, Boscos was at the back of Sheriff Street in the flats. Roseanne's shop was over
there. Is that where
here.
Boscos was
And
originally?
yeah, and on the opposite side, underneath, what was her name? Mary Cabinet.
Okay.
John Cabinet. Underneath that, there was like a little shop, kind of.
I remember them, yeah.
So they put 9 of us in there.
But they did transfer at Boscos to Seville Place then, to Jim Sheridan's old house, wasn't it? I knew I wasn't making that up, Davie. No, but that was where the first Boscos was.
That was the very first Boscos for 9 of us.
Wow.
And we were all in there, me, Nello, Collie, Jimmy, Michael Dunn. There was a fella from the Cattle Market, because he was a menace up there. And
they threw him down, did they? Yeah.
It was the worst thing the young fella ever done.
He took him out of the frying pan and put him into the chip pan. Yeah.
And but it was, we thought we were special. Do you know what I mean? We didn't realise that. It was they done this to just get us off the corner.
So did you think he was special in a good way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So, there wasn't a bread fan safe coming into Thompson shop.
I know.
You know what I mean? Because even though it was a batch of loaf we had to rob, once we robbed something. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, we were kleptomaniacs.
Yeah.
You know, so, but he opened the school and he used to pay us for going to school. Right? If we're in before 10 o'clock in the morning, 50 pence. But you didn't get paid, and you had to do the 5 days. And you got your $2.50 on a Friday after school.
It was an incentive to get you off the street, to get you in.
So they paid us.
I never knew any of that, Davie.
And what do you call it? But I ended up, my ma used to suffer with her nerves, and my dad couldn't really cope with me and Debbie at the time.
No.
And well, we had the other, Tracy was born, Midgie was born, I think that time, and was Nico was born, Nico would have been born. And then the niece and Pat that came after. But when she suffered with her nerves, she was always in Vincent's Hospital.
Okay.
So my dad be leaving work. He walked over in the avenues, the first avenue in the timber. Yeah.
Did he in the timber? Yeah. Is that still at the back of my ma's?
The back of your ma's.
Yeah.
And he worked there for years, and he was a joiner, making the windows, the doors, not mahogany. He actually made me ma's doors for the house when we got the new house. He stepped back at late at night and open to do them myself. Do you know what I mean? But where was it there when I'm at the losing
Boscos, so you were 9 in there.
Yeah, so my mum around, so me and Debbie were more than my nannies. Do you know what I mean? So I grew up with the guys of Docker, Kyle, Marie, John,
all the Moonies.
Do you know what I mean? So everybody at the time back then used to call me Little Docker and all. Do you know what I mean? Because I'd be up on the roof with the pigeons with Docker and all. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember Docker had a pigeon.
He used to swing me down on a rope from the top balcony out. To go down to the Roseanne's to get them a loose cigarette for him and Ian back. Yeah.
A loose cigarette. I remember they used to sell the cigarettes loose.
He used to get a match as well off Roseanne and back up to him then. And but when I was living in my nanny's, like, my nanny worked in the GPO. She was a cleaner. She was 6 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
So, like, when she was gone, I still had freedom because my dad wasn't there. He was in work. And after work, he had to go and see my ma. So I had a bleeding street.
So you had free reins to do whatever you wanted to do.
But now it wasn't my ma's fault. It wasn't my dad's fault. It wasn't my nanny's. You know what I mean? Like,
it was just the way life was then,
just the way life was then. But the good thing about it back then was my nanny, my mum, my dad all knew we were safe in the street. No. Because
everyone looked out.
Yeah, everybody looked out. All the older lads looked out for us. Do you know what I mean? Like, and my growing up with all that, it was fucking hard. It was brilliant.
As a child,
we were never left without as kids. Now, whether it was from a neighbour, do you know what I mean? From my nanny or my dad done his best.
Yeah, your dad was a worker.
He was a grafter.
Look, as I've said before, there was few people who had consistent jobs, wasn't there, Davie? Very few.
Yeah, very few had bleeding jobs back then.
I know, you could nearly count the flats who the workers were, and that went out early in the morning.
Well, you could even, nearly in every gaff, the sheriff's dude was a criminal.
Well, I said that, and then I was like, my God, I hope I'm not going to be, people get annoyed with me. But the people who walked stuck out, and it wasn't the opposite way, and everyone else was all the same. Like, you didn't feel any different, did you?
No.
Down there we
you
were all...
fitted in.
You fitted into that mad community, and you did feel quite safe. I remember when I started realising that Sheriff's was a no-go area, and people thought it was, I call it the head click. When you say where you're from, you get the head click off people. They turn real quick to look at you.
Yeah.
And that still happens today.
Yeah, because I had that stigma, hadn't I? You know what I mean? As a no-go area.
For a stigma. But I remember thinking, what are they talking about? Like, I felt so safe in Sheriff Street as a kid, because everybody looked after us, and it was all you knew for starters, but you knew you could go down to anyone on the corner and ask for help.
Yeah, and it was there.
It was there for you, yeah.
There was the kind around last year, what you need help for.
Exactly,
It was great. It was brilliant, but like, I used to look up to the older fellas, and they used to be doing all the smash and grabs, and they used to come into the flats and the cars and all, do you know what I mean? And there was a few of the women in the flats be waiting there with their trolleys and all, and they get what to get and bring it out the tool lock, and
they'd sell it then.
And sell it and come back with the lads few bob. But we used to make a few bob by keeping sketch for them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's where it all started. And then when we were getting, remember the old green pound notes?
I do, yeah, I remember them well, Davie.
Pound note, and I'd give you another pound when I finished, so we wouldn't leave the corner, you know what I mean? Watching out for it. That was simple.
Simple, he was the red, was he the red?
No, he was the tall fella. We used to call him Simple. It was fuck all simple about him.
My ma spoke about him a lot. She knew him quite well. But I remember one of the sayings was, and I grew up for it, I remember saying it when I was old, that the people sketch together. That's all we say and whistle if the police...
Piano.
God, you're bringing back so many memories to me now, Davie.
But looking up to the older fellas and all, like, and that's where now I know, that's when I became an addict. Because I was attracted to all that stuff that they were getting, all the stuff that they had. You know what I mean? Some of them are driving like cars now, like back in the day, like fucking little minis. And,
very few people would have cars. We're only the people that was up to no good would have a car.
You know what I mean? And then, so I learned how to drive then at a real, because I was very clever. And at a very really young age, I learned how to drive. My ma used to know when I was at the bottom of the car, because our cushions had been missing off our couch.
You had to put them underneath it, Davie.
Yeah, I'd have to sit on them. Because we got a chase, and I used to sit on jackets. We lost that many jackets, because when we got a chase, we had to bail and leave the jackets. So
how old would you have been, Davie, when you were up to that stuff?
Up to that stuff at about 12.
So when you look at a 12-year-old now today, and you think of a 12-year-old doing what you are doing, like, I'm not saying there's not 12-year-olds, but it's not as rampant at that age, or is there? Am I out of touch?
See, we all thought that this was all real innocent stuff, because everyone else was doing it. Do you know what I mean? This is part of life.
Yeah. So my ma tells a story about when she met me dad, how she met him. He drove through the flats in a robbed car, and he had to pull. He was tiny, and she never forgets him coming towards her and going through the washing lines and everything. And he got out, and she looked at him and said she thought he was real cool. You know, look at this fella, he's a joyrider. And you looked up to everyone that was a bit nuts, didn't you, Davie?
You did, because we looked up to all them and all. I want to be like him.
I say this in the first one, I don't know whether you listen to, but I used to look at the people who are up to no good and involved in criminal activity, and I'd say, I want to marry his son, or I want to marry, because then I'll have a fancy flat, and I'll have a fridge full of food, and I looked up to them, and I remember all yous at the corner, because how old are you now, Davie, if you don't mind?
55.
55? 55. I told me ma last night, one of the kids, I think Davie's 50. There you go, there's a nice compliment for you. 54. But I remember looking at all you as a kid on the corner, and do you remember the corner? It was under where Marina lived.
That's
and
right,
the music could be blaring.
Outside the Dooley shop.
Outside Dooley shop. And I used to look at you and say, they're all so happy. Yeah. I didn't know you were all off your heads on knees and everything dancing. Jeez. But it was only when I got older. But I used to say, I can't wait to be like them when I'm older. You looked so free. You looked real happy. You were dressed in the best of gear. So of course, if you're growing up in a little community like that.
That's the best of gear, but I used to have to run behind me runners in the shed underneath the stairs.
On your ma, did you?
Ma, because like we were making, at the time, like we'd been making a nice little few quid. And me and Jimmy and all, we'd go uptown and we'd buy a nice set of clothes, pair of runners and all, do you know what I mean? And we'd be trying to say, right, how are we going to say where we got this? Do you know what I mean? So I say, not where these was, and they were high tech at the time.
I
And
remember the high tech. Yeah,
they go at the time. So we had a key off the shed underneath the stairs. And what I used to do was, my ma used to bring me pumps out of Charlie Betts. Or that's Goinings, remember out of the baskets. And I'll never forget the day I was at the coming in. And I was at the being uptown robbing chops, going through the attics.
Yes.
And I was black. But my mum was at to get me a pair of these white pumps, right? But I was at to hang them off to me, putting them in the shed before we went down, putting on my fast runners, right? And my black ones, right? And when I came back, right, it was nearly coming up to Halloween. And when I came back to the house, to the flats, I went in, changed my runners back into my white pumps, but not realising from all the soot from the attics, my face was black, all you could see is my eyes and my teeth. Right? And I walked into the house, and how fucking clever and how manipulative I was, even back then. When Nat turned around and says, "What the fuck? What happened to you? Where were you?" I says, "Mum, I had to be collecting bonfire wood." She says, "Where was your runners so fucking clear?" Or I put bags on them.
Is that what you told?
Just came off the tongue. I don't know where it came out. I put bags on them. Do you know what I mean? You can end there and scrub me in the back anyway. But she probably did have to scrub me. That used to have to scrub me. But what do you call it? Where was I going with that? Yeah, but that's how manipulative.
The manipulation, how young, and I spoke about that too, Davie. You are learning from such a young age how to be deceitful and how to manipulate.
Yeah.
Like, I spoke about sort of carrying drugs and collecting money, and I would be told if the police pulled you, you knew what to say. And what was the worst thing in your community if you were if you were a rat?
Yeah, there was no such thing. There was no such thing.
You could get away with anything, but nobody wanted to be that. And I knew that from that heights.
Yeah, it's in me. It's in our DNA.
Yeah.
It was bred into us from me. And nobody fucking...
I know. Especially people in uniforms or authority. You never...
I remember back in the day in Newton when we were kids, like, if a stranger came in, if a criminal, you had to know a criminal to be allowed into the street, and you'd be still treated like a fucking copper because we didn't know you.
I remember.
And all the older lads would be saying, "But David, no, listen, lads, he's with me, he's all right, but we don't fucking know him. This is an no-go area."
No.
You know what I mean? So we'd have to we'd be sectioning the chap. Do you know what I mean?
To find out was he legit in an unlegitimate way?
Yeah, because this is if you see strangers coming in, they couldn't call one of the lads because the plain clothes and all that.
Yeah, you wouldn't know.
I mean? So
well, you could spot them a mile off, couldn't you?
Now you could, but back then, do you know what I mean? Like, we were young. Do you know what I mean? So the lads would put us wide. Like, if you see anybody strange in the street, don't forget, call us. We run into doctors or the ball alley. Remember the ball alley?
I don't remember that. I remember where it was. There was a waste ground there, but my ma would always talk about the ball alley. Yeah.
But that and the lads would fly out. Now he's all right, man. Do you know what I mean?
If they knew.
But we would be standing at the corner looking for strangers coming into the streets. I was going to tell the lads, "Listen, lads, there's some idiot out there. Like, what we do? We lash them out.
What can we get from them?" Do you remember men used to come down though in vans to ask for their vans to be burned? I always remember that. Like
the shop.
Yeah, they'd say, "Look, and they'd throw a few quid to the lads, whoever it was, to burn them." But I do remember that. I remember thinking, why would someone want their own van burned? I didn't understand anything about insurance at the time. I was too young.
Yeah, see that.
But I do remember a bit of that as well, Davie.
Because that was, every robbed car that was brought into Sherry Street ended up burned at the back of the flats and all. And the front of the flats.
I remember it well.
So with that stigma of that, that's how people got attracted to doing children's jobs.
Yeah.
They come into the street and hold around and say, "Listen, bad in my car." Because you wouldn't leave the keys because you wouldn't get that children.
Yeah, so they didn't know what to say.
We know how to paddle a car. We know how to hotwire the car.
I'm pretty sure that you did, Davie.
And set it on fire. We'd rally it first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
so that was their entertainment then,
that was the
whoever.
entertainment,
You'd be like, who's driving tonight?
Yeah.
And you know, you knew the good drivers that could do like all the handbrakes and the
360s.
Yeah, I was trying to think of the word. I was going to come out wrong there, but the donuts and
in the back of the flats on the
and we would be excited. We'd say, "There's a car coming over the bridge," and we'd run to the back of the flats and we'd stand there. The way people stand and watch a marathon.
Yeah, that's the way.
That's the way we'd stand to watch a car coming down the flat. And to think we didn't think there was anything odd or weird about that, Davie.
No, and there was 2 cars there. It was a bonus.
Well, then they play chicken. Then they play chicken with one another. But you're bringing back. Like, I really feel like I'm back there in my head now. You know.
It does bring you back, doesn't it? Like, but but. With all that stuff, like, I learned how to drive at a very early age, so I would have been one of them in the back of the flats. Do you know what I mean? Doing donuts and bleed. You know what I mean? And I classed myself as a little shoemaker.
You did, you would have the bad. You're smiling while you say it, Davie.
Yeah, because like all the people then that likes to Joe McCarthy and that, I started driving for Joe and all. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I was sitting outside places. I don't want to do much into them because.
So was that where that took you from, that petty crime?
That petty crime to drive.
So you would be like a getaway driver for bigger things then as you go. How old would you have been then, Davie?
I'd have been about 18, 17, 18.
So you were then to the point where you were going to go to prison at that stage, like, I mean, not the juveniles, but the...
But I always thought, you know what, the good thing about it was, I classed myself as a shoemaker. I always got my way.
You got away that way.
And
that was your craft at the time, Davie.
But the good thing about it was, like, Joe and all, the cops would know that it's them. And I remember you had to be only out and I was at the driving, and that was a big thing. Like, so Joe was on a section, him and Fergus, and all he wanted was that driver. And he could have walked out of that station. No. That's how staunch back then the lads were.
Like, when you were in on a section.
And they were getting charged for it. Do you know what I mean? They were getting caught back into rights with it. You know what I mean? Like, from a CCTV.
But they never said the word.
No.
There's extremely loyal people back then. Where we came from, there was a lot of loyal people back then, and you have to give it to them. And imagine if that loyalty and that persistence and that resilience could have been channeled into something good. Can you imagine having those qualities at such a young age? I mean, you were able to drive, you were able to manipulate, you were able to deceive very well. Imagine you had all those qualities at such a young age. That strength of character. Imagine you could have put that, someone took you and said, okay, here's a trade at this age and let's put all those qualities
into that.
I mean, think about it, Davie.
Fuck me, from what we went through growing up, like, in money-wise, we should have been millionaires today.
I know, but
over and over again.
There was no structure.
There was no structure, exactly, as you were saying. But if we would have put mindset together as a group, even if us lads, if we did stay in school and got as that group, because we're very intelligent.
I know that. I know that.
Addicts are very intelligent.
Well, they have to be, don't they? They have to be very smart.
So if we would have had that intelligence back then and put it into the right things,
right channel,
the right channel, we would have been we'd have been probably living in Dubai now or running a business.
I always say, Davie, how many doctors and barristers and all these big jobs that we only felt was for other people, never for our kind.
Yeah.
How many of them is truly walking among us as children that has the potential to reach those heights academically?
Yeah.
But they just, our main problems was education, was poverty, was criminality, and was addiction.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of areas will have one of them.
Yeah.
A lot of families will be inflicted by one of them with a child. But if you're inflicted by every one of those big, they consume you in life.
Yeah.
Like, if you have poverty, if you have a lack of education, if you're involved in crime, and then you become an addict.
Yeah.
It doesn't, like, the potential and the character is in there, but it's fucking buried by the age of 18. It's buried on it.
Exactly.
And then trying to access that, as we will talk about in a while, at our age, is so difficult.
Big time.
Big time.
It's not easy.
So I know we were at 18, 19, then you were...
Yeah.
you are doing
I remember there was a thing I'll go back to there as well. I remember, and I know this came up there, and I think it was about a year ago, and I've actually forgot about. We were interviewed in Boscos school.
Why, please?
No, boy, it was called, it wasn't prime time. It was Today Tonight. It used to be prime time. It became prime time, I think. It was Today Tonight, and it came into the school, the interviews around, like, growing up in Sherry Street.
Was Mello in that one as well? I think I saw a clip of it on TikTok.
And my brother-in-law.
Yeah, I did. It's amazing, actually. I'll actually put up, I'll find that.
And that young that was beside me, I can never think of his name. He was one of the first ones to come into the school with us that time.
Because I didn't know him. Yeah. I was like, who's he?
That's the fellow that was from up in the market.
Okay.
And I can never think of his name again. But they interviewed us. And I was what? That was 86. So I would have been 16 in that November. So that was early, say 86. So I was still 15. And I had charges for breaking into shops. Do you know what I mean? Like, so that was at 15 years of age.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The rate of charges. I'll never forget, me and Jimmy Barry went up to the children's court. And it was that, I think I was up that Friday. I remember saying it on the thing, I'm up in court on Friday. That was for the shoe show. But all my charges got put back to the one day. But we put it back to the 14th of November, which was my birthday. The judge in the children's court. Now, Jimmy was a little bit younger than me.
Okay.
Right? So, me and Jimmy was up together. Because we called close and everything we'd done.
Yeah.
He's like me fucking key ring.
We're partners.
Yeah, we were playing children's on these trains. Stuck to the hip, the two of us. And we went to court. So they gave Jimmy, they had no way to put him in Michael's, there was no beds. I sang Lenses.
Where was it? In Finglas. Okay.
So I was old enough to go to Pats. So on my birthday, he gave me 6 months in Pats.
Such a 4 cents.
4 cents.
So that was just 16 years old.
16 years of age, yeah. And never getting me ma was there and Jem Barrow was there. And Jem used a lovely bit of blow at the time. You know what I mean? And he had a lump. So he gave it to us.
To bring you riches.
But Jimmy was after getting 2 years in St. Lenses, but he came back and called him back out of the cell. 2 of us were in the cell. And we got a load of munchies off him and my man, his dad, and sitting there milling away in the chocolate and we're getting the door opens. James Barry, I pay for him and brought him back up. There was no beds for him in St. Lenses, so they had to release him. So I was off on the third of the Pats.
You got your 6 months.
I got me 6 months in Pats. And that, I'll never forget that 6 months because while I was doing that 6 months, tragedy hit the street and it was Michael Curtis.
Michael Curtis?
Yeah. That's Donna's brother. He died from the gas in the shed. And I was in, and I'll never forget, Sandra Bat was at the coming up. I was with Karen at the time.
I was too young, but I do remember the story then being told after.
Yeah, I was with David's ma at the time, Karen. And I was on a visit. And she came in, and she was riding crying. What's wrong with her? She's coming in to see Ingo. And she says, Mikey is dead. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it was a devastating blow because at the time.
What was it? The gas?
The gas, yeah. He had asthma.
Okay.
And he died underneath the
Was it in the pram sheds that was underneath the flat?
Stairs, yeah.
That they were like cast iron doors and only the council had the keys to open.
Well, we had a key off that as well. We had a master key.
Of course you had, Davie.
I used to use that master key for all the lads when they were doing the smash and grabs. They used to call me because I used to wear that.
You used to put all the Rob gear into them. I remember that. I do remember that, yeah.
I get a call and it'd be 3 o'clock in the morning. I'd be out the window. Down, and I used to have her on a lace around my neck because I wouldn't part up with this. This was gold.
Didn't want to lose
this
it,
was
Davie.
Gold,
yeah.
Right? So he said, "Ask Davie down the shed." So I'd open this shed on A block, and then run over to the user block, straight facing, and I'd open that shed when that one was nearly full. And then the next one,
put more in
because it'd be back and forward, and 2 or 3 BMWs. You know what I mean? Like chopping all the stuff into the shed. But I'd have a few black bags. And I'd fill up bags while they were going back out, lock the shed and fly up and throw them under my bed.
And you keep them for yourself then? Yeah, I know.
I used to get well up there. So that's where I gained me trust then with the Ola crew.
Yeah. It's nearly like, isn't it? I always say, it's like any organisation does a structure, you know, and you have your workers on the ground, you have your managers, you have your supervisor, you have, you know, the CEO.
Everyone was on standby.
In criminality, it's in organised crime, it's the very same.
Exact same.
And you earn your trust, and then when the people trust you, you get elevated, you get a better job, you get more money off them because you have your trust, and it works the very same as in
only for the airways illegal.
Only for you. Well, the consequences are a lot tougher when it goes wrong, Davie. And I know you'll talk to us. So, I know because I was really young when I started to drink, and I know you were saying you were 16, went in. When you went into Pat's when you were 16, were you using anything at that time?
Nothing at all, nothing whatsoever. Now, like, we used to go to the bleeding open air discos and all, and we get a now fly a 2 litre.
It wasn't Bulmers, it was cider.
Old English or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
And there'd be about 6 of us and a £5 deal between us.
Yeah, yeah.
And we used to think we were fucking Pablo Escobar.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I thought we were the bees and knees. Do you know what I mean?
And it was very open, like, I mean, everyone was rolling joints openly. There was no hiding it where we lived back then.
No.
Drinking the flagons from the bottle. Like, I remember it well. Yeah.
So, like, I was what, 17 and all, 16, and I was drinking in the Jeffwood, me and Jimmy.
Yeah.
Because we were going in with the older boys, because they trusted us.
And you thought you were really
Eddie
cool.
and all would be there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean, like,
and then, because I know you spoke about the barrels, like he would have been one of the jumpers, and like as we know, he lost his leg from it. His leg came off from it.
I remember.
He jumped and he missed it. I think he was after having a couple of drinks before he went out jumping with them that night. There was always one that jumped. Yeah. And he slipped, and the train went over the foot. Yeah. And then he ended up losing. Yeah.
But that's when I remember that very well. And but with Eddie was great. I loved Eddie. And me and Jimmy Ballet used to say it to us. Every time Eddie come out on Oscars or something, right? The whole street, it's scatter.
Wouldn't he clear his street, Davie? Yeah.
And me and Jimmy would stand there, and he used to come out to us full of drink, and he said to us, you know what, fair play to you, the only two on the street with a pair of balls.
Because you didn't run?
Because we didn't run.
Because everyone else was afraid he'd pick them up and fling them over his shoulder.
And he would.
Well, he did many a times, people. Ask Mello.
Seen it loads of times.
Yeah, him and Mello used to have their old boots.
But remember then, my uncle was born in 89, January 89. And I remember he was only born, and the man had Melanie.
Melanie in 1990. Melanie was born. Yeah.
My uncle was 89.
The year before.
Eddie, he was after coming down from the hospital or something, and he was after seeing Melanie, whatever, being born, and he was fucking besotted.
Yeah.
He was besotted.
And it was his fault.
But he called me, because he knew I had a baby.
Yeah.
Right? And he called me, he said, come on, we're going to Jeffwood. And he couldn't get over it that I was the dad before him.
Yeah.
And I was only that, and still that size, but...
Yeah, well, because he would have been older, sure, Eddie would be in his 60s now, Davie, so...
So like that, was saying, how the fuck?
How old were you when you became a father?
I became a father when I was 18.
18, Davie, having your first.
And I was tiny, I was always 20 these.
Yeah.
And I was walking around Sheriff Street. I remember, I'll never forget, Cannon's mom, I think, Benny died, and she got me a harness.
For the baby?
For the baby. And I was walking around Sheriff Street showing my baby off.
Yeah.
In a harness.
Very proud, Davie.
Yeah, very proud. And like, the size of me in it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Nearly had to jump the pads, like, it's that small. Do you know what I mean? And even I remember, Evo Doyle still saying, I remember you, never forget it, walking around with the harness and the baby in a harness, and you were only a baby yourself.
And you know what? Isn't it weird? You don't see yourself being that young when you're going through it, Davie. No. It's only when you look back now and you're the age you're at that you say, or you look at someone that age and you're like, I was only a baby, like trying to raise a baby.
Yeah, we did.
And I hope you have compassion for yourself now, because I do look back and say, Jesus, Lisa, you won't
got a clue what I was doing, Lisa.
We hadn't got a clue until about 4 years ago what we were doing, Davie. For fuck's sake.
I ain't got to be brilliant. But Dave was born anyway. He was born in 89. And I thought that was it. I'm going to fucking settle down. I have to white picket fence. And we're going to do one more robbery to get that money.
Always the last one, Davie. Always the last one.
And I end up back in prison again, obviously.
So you are after being in Pats at 16.
16.
You are a father.
16, 17, 18, 19,
Why
and 20. And all small sentences.
Oh, Davie.
Like 3 months here, a month there. You know what I mean? Like for all the Mickey Mouse crimes.
I remember all the lads though, because everyone stood on the corner from morning till night. That was where you walked. Let's face it, that was like work. It's like the way Dublin City Council man stand in a corner with the sweeping brushes and the shovels. Yeah. That's what you were like back then.
Yeah, that's what it was, yeah.
And then you'd see, like I'd say, I haven't seen, say, Davie, I haven't seen Midgie, or I haven't seen Gavin or in ages. You were in and out like revolving. It was revolving doors.
It was.
You were only out, you were back in. I mean, did nobody in the system say, this is not fucking working?
Exactly.
Can we not find some sort of a program where we give they have skills, but they use them in the wrong area. Can we not find a program that we can pull those great skills and character that they have and you know, I don't know whether it worked, but it wasn't working what they were doing, Davie.
We went into Patrick's and was bleeding. There was nothing to do on it. Like, all we done was we sat around and fucking started talking about fucking how to be a better criminal.
Well, do you know Christine Moore wrote a song for me that I have it in the book outside and I'll show you. It's called The Ballad for Eamon Bunn.
Right.
When he died, he wrote it. He did a bit of a fundraiser.
I actually remember that.
Yeah.
That was 81, was it?
82.
82, I knew, yeah.
So it was only a couple of weeks ago, his anniversary. But in one of the lines in it, he says, and they sent him to Loughlin House where he developed his trade even more.
Yeah.
So what you've just said there,
that's exactly
we've sat around speaking about how we become better criminals. Yeah. And Christy Moore says there in the song,
coming back here.
You were putting him in and he was leaning off older guys, more tricks of the trade in the robberies. And he was coming out like sharpening the knife, if one for a better analogy, to say, well, now I'd have a bit more information on how to rob and how to...
It's like recovery. You ask them, how do I get recovery? What do you do in a recovery that keeps you fucking clean? It's the same thing back then.
It really is, Davie.
Just flip it.
Yeah.
How will I be a better fucking criminal?
How can I? Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But don't be doing that because you keep on coming back here.
Yeah.
Try this. So you try that. That starts working. You start getting the money.
Then you become more cunning, and then you become better developed in the organised crime.
And you have this persona as a leader. Do you know what I mean? Like, right, I'm going to fucking lead a group. I'm going to be the new Bugsy Malone gang here.
You're in a movie then, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly.
You're in a movie.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
And don't we all want to be someone, feel important and belong to? And if you can't belong to this group way over there that has education and that has a few quid, well, you're going to try and belong to the group and further your skills in that, Davie.
But back then, Lisa, when we looked at people that had the education and was going in with the boots under their arms and all, we looked at them as the mates.
You thought you were saps.
So that's fucking idiots. Bully them, take their lunch money out.
I remember that mindset.
But these are the ones that went on to build fucking companies.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
But do you not feel like because even you saying that, like, do you not think had you had other opportunities and, you were stayed in school till at least junior state to put out a 10, that could have been very possible for you or me, Davie, back then?
Well, Lisa.
No, I'm saying if it was different.
If it was different, yeah.
I mean, we all have the potential to be amazing.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But I just think, and this is why I wanted to do this as well, because of stories like yours too. Like, if it wasn't bad enough that you had to go through what you went through, like, we're only at 19 and it's pretty full, Davie.
Yeah.
And I was beating myself up about not being better, not having a good job, not having school in my 40s. But then when I look back, I was like, how the crap was I supposed to do with all just stuff that was going on? It's nearly impossible for us to do it, Davie. So just listening to you there, it's like, I hope, you're easy on yourself today.
I am.
I really do.
I had to do a lot of work on myself, Lisa.
I know.
A lot of work on myself today. Do you know what I mean? I'm still working on myself today.
And we'll never stop.
We'll never stop.
There's no destination in this, Davie.
There's no finish line.
We just keep going and we try to be better. But because I know we get sidetracked, so I'm just trying to see where we're at now. I know you had your first son, you were 19.
Yeah.
18.
18, yeah.
And then when did you start with that? I know you were smoking a bit of... blowing and drinking.
When he was born, he was only a few months old, and he got real looking for me for something. So me and Colin ended up saying we had to Peterborough in the UK.
Oh, okay.
Right? And we started off a fresh life over there and blah blah with Davie. So we went over there. He learned to walk over there. I was over there for about 7-8 months or so, and I got homesick.
You missed it.
And so did she. So I said, you know what? Pack up. I'm just going back to hand myself up. Look, whatever happened.
I'm done now, yeah.
Done, you know what I mean? So we came back. I went into Star Street. Never forget it. I walked in. Walter O'Connor.
Walter, yeah.
Right? And I says, are you looking for me? He's having to get the fuck out. See for fucking real. I'm at the being hiding over in fucking Peterborough for the last 7 months, and the cunt doesn't even want me. You know what it was? At the time, they used to have to renew weddings after 6 months.
So it was gone. It was 7 months. It was gone past its date.
So he fucked me out anyway. And fucking, when he fucked me out, but that was in 91, what, yeah. No, 1990. 1990, you have to come back to take it. And I arrived in Sherry Street when he is around the corner.
That's what I was talking about.
That's when I arrived.
Do you remember the tambourine woman? She used to come down and play the tambourine.
That's right, yeah. And I arrived. That's when I was standing at the corner and never forget it. He was weird and I came up to me. Says, this is a new party, so, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So it started with all them and all, so, you know, in the corner, all bobbing headless chickens.
I thought it was great.
Give us a bit of right. So I took, never forget, it was my first one was a white dove. And I took it, and that's when I arrived.
Really, Davie?
And I says, this is it now. This is
a feeling that you got.
This is the new thing now. You know what I mean? Like, so we had sides, we had the asylum, we had mansion house. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I remember hearing you talking about these places, and Lisa Doody, you know, because I hung around with Donna.
Yeah.
And I used to beg them to dress me up so I'd look older to bring me. That's how much I couldn't wait to actually get on the scene and be like all you guys that was on the corner, Davie.
And but I was playing, I arrived that time when I came back to Dublin, and when I took that first one, and then that was it then. Like, you said, Tracy used to be playing always with, because she knew she could get in place with, because so it's John Murphy and Ken Kelly on the sides, and I got on great with John Murphy. And he was a gay fella, and he had his fella there, Mark Ford, and he was bang on.
Yeah.
But he was strung out. So
what were they being taken?
They were taking heroin.
They were on heroin, were they?
So I knew how to get it, but I wasn't into it at the time. So I was thrown in the fish to catch the salmon and thrown in my bag. And I ended up on the guest list. And so it's on the EOQ used to be all the way down Georgia Street, down into that lane, into the back of sites. And I used to just walk up the front with whoever was with me. And we waved in. Do you know what I mean? Because I was looking after them. You know what I mean? It's always on the guest list. And so everybody wanted to be, hey, Davie coming out. So, because they didn't have to kill when you didn't have to pay.
And don't we all love a bit of that, Davie? We do. We love to feel important to some degree.
At the time,
That's it. Yeah, I made it.
I'm walking up the top of this queue and everybody that's with me.
It feels good.
It's going in.
It does.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It felt great, like.
Of course it did.
But then, like that, the East End and all that was played brilliant. It was brilliant.
That was all early 90s.
You love people that you didn't even like. Do you know what I mean? You wouldn't say football. They wouldn't even say hello to you.
Come here, I've had my experience with them myself, Davie.
And you'd be hugging them and telling them you love them.
Boys. Imagine feeling so that you could love people as much as you felt when you're on.
What's the name for that? Euphoria. What's that?
Euphoric feeling. Euphoria.
Euphria,
you're euphoric.
Yeah, and it's like everybody gets saying, fuck is going on? Sure, he wanted to kill him yesterday. Now that fucking piece of the face out of each other.
Probably wasn't a bad thing where we came from in the middle of sides for everyone to feel like that, in fairness.
Yeah, everybody loved everybody. And like that went on for a good while now, for a good few months. So never forget, we used to come back to our sides and go down to the asylum. And there used to be a floor upstairs in the asylum, and it was called the Skag Room. Okay. Everybody would be up there with the sheets of tinfoil.
Really? I didn't know that, Dave.
Like, we'd be looking at and saying, what are they up there? Do you know what I mean? And so people used to be saying, because we were vulnerable at the time.
Yeah.
Well, I knew what heroin was, but when I seen the file, I didn't know what way they were taking it. I thought they were injecting it or whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the fuck. So we ended up back in, I'll never forget it, we ended up back in the flat in Cherry Street after and we didn't want the night to end. So when you're coming down off the east, I got introduced then to, like, they were smoking it. What's that? I know this brings you down off your you don't control of the walls, counting spots on the ceiling. I had 47 bleed spots on the ceiling in my bedroom. I counted them that many fucking times. Being awake.
Yeah, on a come down, which is the opposite to how you were feeling a few hours before. Yeah.
So when I got the taste of that then, it was a weekend thing.
How old were you, Davie, then when you started?
Jeez, that was what, must have been 21.
Okay, so you were still very young.
About 21, yeah. I must have been around that. And
what was it like, Davie, when you first took it? Because I had one. Did you listen to my own ice, the first one? And I tried heroin once. I was only 14 trying it at the back of the Ilac. But I got really, really sick. Like, I didn't have a nice experience. I vomited and I couldn't really get down to Sheriff Street.
Yeah.
I was with a friend of mine and she held me down. And the minute I went to my man knew it wasn't hash or drink. She knew it was something else. But I thankfully, I had such a bad experience. I never wanted to do it again, Davie. Had I had a good experience, the story would be very different.
Yeah, because an awful lot of people say, like, when they first took it, they got that blanket of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, lovely, I need it. You know what I mean? I didn't. I puked.
Okay.
What I was doing was, everybody was doing it in a group. So, just to stay part of. It was like,
I keep talking about the sense of belongingness, to belong to something, Davie.
So, down it, and it was only a weekend then thing, but I started stopping getting sick from it because I wasn't it would take too much. I started getting sick. So I started limiting it just to bring me down.
Okay.
But then that's kind of progressed.
It doesn't stay that way.
Yeah. And then we'd be standing on the corner. That'd be Saturday night, or Friday night and Saturday night. And maybe even Sunday, right? And then, but we'd only little bits. Do you know what I mean? Just to bring us down. But then we'd be standing at the corner and we'd be bored on a Monday and we'd have plenty of money in our pocket. What we do when we get one of them little bags.
Just for the sake of
just
being
for the sake of just
out of it.
Kill the boredom.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So we'd go in around the cat yard or something, into the shed of the cat yard, and a few of them sitting there on car seats. We'd all be having smoking on. And then that progressed then into...
How long did it take for it, Davie, to really catch a hold of you? Was it a short space or?
I'm not really sure, Lisa, because I remember I never got sick on it, like with flus or any of that kind of stuff.
So you were still able to function normal, like you were to a degree?
It was one day I was in the house and my man, fella knocked at the door. He's actually in the UK now, but you know him well, I don't. He just...
of course, I understand,
because it wasn't his fault, obviously. But he knocked at the door and he says, "Where is he?" And my man says, "He's up there," and he's playing. Says he has the flu and all. He doesn't get fucking flu or, you know, like.
Your man owned yeah.
Right. So he turned around and says, "Tell him I'll be back in a minute." And he came back. But he came back with a bit again before. And I came in and I was sniffling, snuffling, twisting, turning, cold sweats, bleeding, hot sweats, flushes. And he turned around and says, "Here, do you want two of these?" "I don't want to bleed that." I says, "I'm in bleeding bits and blah." He said, "Just, I'm telling you now, that's what's wrong with you." So when I done 2 or 3 lines off it, all them fucking horrible feelings went away.
Cured you.
And I looked and he says, "What the fuck?" And he goes,
like a miracle drug nearly for you.
"Davie, you're something else. You're a junkie."
Oh, fuck, Davie.
Because we didn't use the word addict back then.
No.
We always used that stigma, the junkie.
It's even when you said the word skag and junkie, like even the words that is associated to people in that type of addiction, like, and they're really horrible words, Davie. And then if someone keeps saying that, like, you start feeling that, I would imagine.
Yeah.
You know?
So like, we always called them fizz bags. Do you know what I mean? In the street, no. I'll never forget.
What was called the fizz bag?
Fizz bag.
Yeah, the gear was called that?
No, we used to call the people that took it.
Oh, okay.
Fizz bags.
I didn't know that.
I'll never forget Scott Stoyle said it to me, "Davie, I want to stop that. That's going to come back and hunt you." Well, it can't be.
Yeah.
Fucking dead right he was.
Did you not? You thought that I'd never end up like
that. Exactly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, so that progressed then into when I found out. Then that's when I felt that way. I know what to do to take that pain away.
That's how it happens, Davie.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I was still functioning. I was still doing all the things that we all done.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But it caught a hold of me then, and then I always says I never fucking used.
Yeah. So
I used to justify what I was doing to what the older crew.
So the people that was on it a long time was injecting. That's using. So as long as you were only smoking, I'm not as bad as this.
So I justify it by finding somebody else and look at them and say, "Well, I'm not like fucking him."
I know.
But
we do anything to make ourselves look better, wouldn't we, Davie? Though,
just to get that bit of feeling, like, wow, fuck, I'm not like him.
Yeah.
But they're all not yet, Lisa.
Yeah, that's on the way for you. You're looking at your future self, looking at this person, but you just don't know it then, Davie.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, and I was like, they're not yet, and then before you know it, then we're running low on money. So what can we do to?
Yeah.
We've only enough for the one. But we can't use it. So we started using it then. Do you know what I mean? And then that got out of control then.
Does that when the petty crime and the does that start rising for you then the longer you're in that, because you obviously have to?
Yeah.
So I know you said something lovely coming down in the car with me that your mother said she knew you were an addict then.
Yeah.
How old were you then when your man and all knew Davie and
about 21 and all.
So around in the 20s?
I hit it when I was smoking for a long time because it was very good at fun.
It wasn't showing on you yet.
It wasn't showing on me. Do you know what I mean? Because I'd be out of the town, be dressing myself for me.
You always looked well, Davie. No, I always remember that you always looked their hair and the runners were always immaculate on your feet.
See, that's a thing. Sonia only said this to me. We ran the live the other night, and we lived the other night, and when was the last night, was it? And the progressions, there was the subject that was on.
Yeah.
And she says, fuck him, if you come back, I need to spare room for you.
Oh, Davie, I always remember, whatever it was, when I think of you, I think of runners. And they would be spotless on your feet. And then the jumper on you and the hair was, and you'd walk by and you get to waft of whatever aftershave you were wearing as well. Like, am I wrong in saying that? Oh, that's true, isn't it? You were always so looked at. Because, I mean, some of the lads was, tracksuits and whatever.
My man always said to me,
you were always well.
Make a show me.
And then you said something lovely to me, and I just thought it'd be lovely about what your ma said about you when you were an addict. And if you can say it again for me in the car.
Yeah.
It was...
Well, growing up, we had this respect for our elders and everybody in the area.
And no one ever stole on their own, did they, Davie?
Nobody ever did. Nobody ever did. And you could leave your hot door out back then. But my ma said to me, you never forget it. And she turns around and says, Davie, whatever you do, please, never have a neighbour. I know what you're doing. Never have a neighbour knock on me down and say you're robbed.
Yeah.
She said, man, she says, there's a town up there, it's insured. Take what you fucking want out of it. You know?
Just don't do it on a doorstep.
I'll accept the police kicking me door in for you.
Yeah, but not the neighbours.
Accept my neighbours and put me down like that. And don't have a shower and wash yourself.
Yeah.
She always made sure of that.
Well, she did a good job in that department, Davie, because I never saw you going around. But when you said that to me, I said, for a mother to accept, these are our only options.
Yeah, because she knew she was powerless.
Yeah, but I was thinking back to her, because your mother was your whole family was a lovely family, always. There was something about you all always smiling and that softness to you. But for your ma to be able to say that to you, look, don't do it on the neighbours. And not that she wanted you going up Talbot Street either.
No,
but if she hadn't, that was the better option for everyone involved.
Take it from someone that's insured.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I justified it. I said, wait, ma, banks are insured.
You took it a level up now, Davie.
I took it a level up.
You took it a level up.
I started driving for the lads then, doing like say all them kind of things. You know what I mean? And then because I don't want to go into all that because it can get the past to come up and haunt me.
Yeah, no, you got to be careful that you're looking after yourself. And
but that's my past. You know what I mean? They put that behind me. But
the criminal activity, that was then. So you are. When did you start using? Like you were smoking, you said, for a while?
I was smoking for a good few years. Good few years. And then we ended up using when the money started kind of, you know what I mean? We saying like, I started selling it, right, in Sheriff Street. And I was my own best customer.
Yeah.
My own best
So it was
customer.
nearly to keep your own habit.
So what used to happen was we have to get it off one person. And then, like, all intentions of selling it. But a user. So that made, I had to get out and get money because I didn't like owning people.
You had to pay whoever back.
So I would even borrow another one and go and say, I work for you. But when I sell his, I pay him.
So you were constantly in.
So we're constantly going from one to the other, and he didn't know about it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and then it'd be like, something around and say to me, what's taking you so long? How come he's had to do it too?
Yeah.
And you're still on your one. Because if we had to sell him the one already, that wouldn't be even his, it'd be the other fella's, and get one back off him, just to pay back him.
It just sounds exhausting. It sounds exhausting, Davie.
Always scamming. Do you know, borrowing from Pete that to pay Paul. Do you know what I mean?
Like,
and that was awful because it'd be fair, you know what I mean? Because like these were fucking the people who'd be selling for like have names, you know what I mean? Like in the
at the time, you'd fear them.
Yeah,
you would definitely
fear
them.
This fella cut me fucking up if we don't.
Yeah.
Although we used to think that it was a big, you know what I mean?
Big shot yourself.
A big shot myself, but really it was full of fear, Lisa.
Yeah.
It was all fear-based.
We spoke about that in the car coming down, how, like, and you said what I said, I loved it, I loved the excitement. Yeah. But then we spoke about the amount of fear we grew up with. Constantly watching over your shoulder, constantly. It's like something inside us knows this is all wrong.
Yeah.
But we don't know what it is because it's our norm.
Exactly.
So it's like, I'm even taking a breath now because I feel like I understand it where I never understood.
Yeah.
All that excitement and all was a lot of fear, Davie.
Yeah.
Living in an area where drugs were as rife as they were, where criminal stuff was going on. And it was all we knew, but there was definitely, like, our bodies knew, not right. And then when we start drinking and start taking drugs, we're easing. That sort of what we thought was excitement. It's fear.
It's fear, yes.
Fear.
Yeah.
We're constantly terrified.
Yeah, sure. It gave us fucking the ability to fucking communicate better. Do you know what I mean?
The drugs did for you, Davie.
Did for me. You know what I mean? Like, because I was on saying to you in the car, I always thought I need a drug to communicate.
Yeah.
I need a substance to communicate.
You definitely don't, Davie.
And you know what? I'm the kid when I was there, you can't shut your fucking up, Davie. Do you know what I mean? So we're at a convention in where was that? Belfast, I think, a few years ago. And I could sound the speakers at a convention. I go to a convention, right? When I go to a convention, right, I don't get into the clicks.
Yeah.
I go to listen to speakers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I go to get knowledge.
To listen to other people's experience and what worked.
I remember I was there, right? Jonathan Smith, me, and, you know, gangs was there around the table. So we lads are always talking to them, right? And I tried to listen to a speaker, and we lad, I'm listening to you the last couple of years, and I'm covering with you. Will you just shut up and we can't listen to a speaker? So I had to take my chair and go up to the wall on my own and hold the chair backwards and with my arms over the back of it, sitting on the chair, because I was consumed in this story.
Yeah.
It was a fella from America, and I was on fucking real this stuff, you know.
Yeah, it was one of them that get your attention.
Yeah, I didn't want to miss it.
Yeah.
One thing, like, and his family was there that he lost and got back in his life, and this is what I wanted.
Real hope.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hope in it.
And I was getting a lot of
And do you know what the opposite of fear is? Hope.
Hope. Yeah.
Hope.
That's why I have my platform is called Hope Over Addiction.
Yeah, and I want to get into that because I definitely want to talk about it. But without hope, would we ever get well without hope?
But Annie too was at the saying to me. He says, he comes up to me and goes, he says, what? He says, I can see you up there next year.
Yeah.
And he put me up there today.
You would have got up.
I would have got up. I would have got up because the fear now was that they're leaving me then.
Yeah, you got a bit of peace.
I got a bit of peace, Lisa.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I had to. I didn't get it fucking straight away when I came into recovery. When I went into my first meeting. When did
you start? Because I know we know now that, like, you know, you went down the road of drugs and it caught a hold of you. When did you first try to recover? Like, when was your first treatment? How many treatment centres did you?
When me and Nico went into very first.
Did you go in together? So Nico was your brother, for anyone who doesn't know.
We went into Victory Outreach, right? And that was bleeding.
Remember that came out years ago, the Victory Outreach,
And I lasted 2 weeks. You used to get 2 weeks grace, right? Because you have to go do cold turkey, right? They don't give you nothing. They won't give you a painkiller. Right? Very dangerous stuff. And they give you 2 weeks grace.
Yeah.
Right? But after the 2 weeks, if they get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and start screaming to the gods in the heavens and in the ceiling, and they used to wake me up because I was up over the fucking ceiling, and they were screaming up at the ceiling, and the vibrations and all. But I'd be lying in the bed, you know what I mean, going through me rattle. You know,
detoxing with nothing.
When he turned around and says, right, tomorrow, Davie, you have to get up and you have to interact with the lads there now, get down and do your prayers and all. I was out that fucking door.
You were gone.
But Nico graduated from it after.
Did he stay?
He stayed there.
Did he?
So it's a bastard.
Nico was so funny. I was talking about him in the car. Yeah, no, he was, and I didn't realise is it past 3 years?
Nico's 22, yeah.
And how old was he?
22. Nico was 46.
46.
46.
I thought Nico was younger as well. I didn't think there was only 3. There was only 3 years between myself and Nico then.
Yeah, 46. Yeah, sure, it was 46.
Because I don't really ask too many questions. Like when I heard that he passed, but was it drug related in the end?
Drug related, yeah. That's what happened for me with Nico. I was in stabilisation. I was in Barrymore House in the North Acre Road. Peter McFilly Trust, which I'm fairly grateful for.
Yeah.
Because they've done.
I heard they do great work.
Oh, fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, there's a girl there, Eva Smart and all, is still in contact with her. There's email. Amazing work. But I was in there and it was class, and he was just on the way down. Zach, my youngest uncle, he's 22 now. Or 23 now, is he? Yeah. And he was after losing his virginity. Right? And he was after telling me on the phone 2 weeks prior. And then he went to Italy. He was over in Italy. And because he loves travelling, loves Italy.
Yeah.
And I get the phone call. And Eva Smart come into me. And then forget it, email. And Vinny O'Neill says, Davie, there's someone you on the phone down the group room. So I'm walking down the group room, oblivious to what was going on, right? And Eva was like, how you feeling? I said, grand. I said, see this little bollocks. I know what he's going to say. She's pregnant. Right? Yeah. So I walked in and they handed me the phone. He said, Nico's dead. What? But it didn't hit me. It didn't hit me. Something switched to me. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah,
in that moment, it said something switched to me. And Vinny O'Neill, I says, right, hold on, I need to process this. And so I walked out and I walked up to my bedroom. And in the bedroom, I was about the sitting room, there's 3 beds. And there was a fella there with me, Lee O'Connell, a good friend of mine. He's in recovery still as well.
Okay.
And he wasn't in the room, so I walked into the room and I stood and there was a mirror at the thing, and I just kept on saying this serenity prayer in the mirror. And I don't know where it came from, but just felt coming in, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can,
and the wisdom
to know the difference between living here and staying. So Vinny O'Neill came up to me and says, they want me to help you with your stuff. You're not going anywhere.
What a decision to make, Davie.
Ring Amy Lakin. The key walker.
Yeah.
Amy, great bleeding fella. Love. Amy now. Amy flew straight up. Says, what are you doing? I'm staying. If I walk out this door, it says,
that's it.
I'll be in the box with him before it's cold. So he says, your decision. So it says, do me a favour, but see what? When I'm going out to the wake, I want you to be here. And I want staff to come with me. And when I come back from the wake, I want staff and yourself with me at the funeral. That's no problem. So I've done that. And before you
Davie, that was to be able to do that for yourself.
Switched.
It's nearly like, do you feel like, and this could be, but nearly, I feel like when someone dies, you can nearly get their strength sometimes. Yeah. And it's what Nico would have wanted.
Yeah.
That was the decision he would have chose for you had he been able to choose, Davie.
So when we went out anyway to the wake and then the funeral, I came back, went to bed, went a bit on the funeral the next morning. I'll never forget, I wouldn't get in the black car. I wanted to stay with staff. I felt safe.
That's safety.
So we got in the van. Me, Eamon and Vinny in the van. And we went out there the graveyard. On the way back, Eston Docker, they be played, they look mad bad into.
Yeah.
And they get out for photographs outside the house.
Mm.
And I think it was media, one of them turned around and says, "Are you coming in for a bowl of soup?" Says, "Media, if I go in there, I won't be oxtail or vegetable soup."
No.
And then back in the van. They went into the afters there, I came into the van, and I went back.
Mm.
And I just put on the speaker, Gabba Mate.
What a person to listen to.
And it was around griefs.
Oh, brilliant, Davie.
So I connected with Gabba Mate, and I still listen to him today. And all it is because he's brilliant. He's brilliant, and he
You understand, don't you, Davie?
Like, if I'm suffering with something today, whether it's grief, we'll put Gabba Mate on grief.
Yeah.
Where he has it on acceptance, powerlessness. He has all these stuff. And that man was only addicted to classical music.
He bought records. That's what he was doing on the sly. He was buying a few records and hiding them on the waist.
He left a woman on a thing, an operation table, to run out to get a vinyl of Mozart. And he came back.
But you see, the behaviour is still the same.
On her own. Do you know what I mean? Like,
but he could understand the addict mind then. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And like, so I listened to him an awful lot. But there's a lot of speakers I listen to today. He said, "We used to go to bed, we used to put on music." Do you know what I mean?
Does the music do something for us though?
Yeah, but now...
But you know, because I know where we're going with this, because I always walk a lot, and I always used to listen to music. And I feel like the more I was in recovery and the more I felt well, I stopped listening to the music, Davie.
Yeah.
And I was listening to the sea and the birds and trying to be present with it.
Yeah.
And I used to say to my daughter, "It's funny I don't have to listen to music anymore while walking." Is that what? I thought you were going to say that, was it? Okay.
I discovered like that. Yes, by listening to speakers, I listen to a lot of speakers, like different speakers, like even the AA speakers, Joe and Charlie, obviously, all other AA speakers. NA speakers, Denzel Washington, motivational speeches.
His is really good.
Oh, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And then you have the likes of Gabba Mate, then there's Father Man.
Okay.
He studies the 12 steps. Now he's not even an addict himself, but listening to him, he simplifies them in a way like it's unreal. Like,
it makes it very understanding for you to connect with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I love listening to that because when I go to bed and I put me speaker on, like Sonia just have your podcast is on or
does she?
Or the other podcast.
Yeah.
She always listens to a podcast, but I put in the earbuds and I listen to the speaker because when I go to bed with that mindset, I wake up with that mindset.
Yeah. That's like a bit of medicine for you before you go to bed. It's one of your rituals. And you know another thing, Davie, I think with the music and everything, when I was really unwell, I'm walking like a rat to listen to music, I didn't want to hear my own thoughts. So I was listening to music, it was smothered out all the negative thoughts I was having. And you know what, there was no gratefulness in me at that time. Like I wasn't grateful for being alive or being, I couldn't see anything. And now it's weird because my thoughts have improved drastically. Yeah. And even if I'm having a bad day, I can take the beauty out of each day and be grateful for being here and having good relationships, food in my fridge, petrol in my car. It's tiny things.
Tiny things that we always took for granted.
That I was like, why would you be grateful for that? That's just a given. No, it's not. No, it's not a given. So I can listen to my own thoughts now without drowning them out, you know?
Yeah, like, and it's like fucking, I love listening to Father Man. It's great. He has a great story there. And it resonates with me an awful lot. And it's about the fire.
Okay.
Right? And that's always as addicts.
Okay.
Right? Getting up every morning. Right? And it's like the fire. Right? Going up against an opponent. Getting in the ring, getting better up every day. He gets in the ring. And then 15, 16, 17, probably 20 years later, he's still crawling out of that bed, going for that same ring. And then somebody over me, shout, he said, as he's crawling to the ring, how will I not get paid up today? Then somebody over shouting, don't get in the fucking ring. And that's like us, as addicts. How will I use successfully today? Don't fucking use.
Don't do it.
Don't use, like, and it's all these kind of...
Well, it makes it very simple for you in your head, doesn't it? Don't get in the ring.
Don't get in the ring, you know. See, with addiction, Lindsay, with addiction, we're battling a lost cause. We're never going to win.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, for us as addicts, thinking that I can use successfully. The drug will always win. It'll always strip you of your dignity, self-worth.
That good parts of us that we have, that goes, it gets buried, I always say. It never leaves, it's in there.
God, it's in there.
But it's buried by the drugs, the alcohol, the behaviours, the everything. And then again, it gets hard stripping them off, Davie. So when you get well for a bit, then you start again, and then you have to strip off the layers again.
Yeah.
And then when you go back, it's like, and that becomes exhausting to the point of, I can't do this, I don't want to do it anymore. And like, I know I went to 2 treatment centres, and I gave up drinking loads of times, both for 6 weeks, 4 weeks, white knuckling there, just and I mean, I know I have something now that I've never had before, and you've said peace. I never had internal peace, Davie. Never. I never knew what it was. I
always thought I had. Please, look, I need to recover. Look, when I went into the meeting, seriously, I went to the meet clean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I was fucking...
The head still.
All over the place. And I never forget it. I said Annie O'Toole today. I walked in and walked up and said, and Annie O'Toole turned around and says to me, I'm waiting for you years to come into this meeting. And he gave me a hug that I never felt before. And you'll never forget what he said over to me. It's going to be all right.
It's going to be all right.
I know what you're struggling with.
Isn't it?
You're struggling with your mind.
He knew.
He knew.
Because he's been there.
Been there. And I was bleeding. And do you know what? I said it to a man here. I said, I never got... None of my mother and none of my bleeding exes gave me a hug the way he gave me a hug, because I felt it. And I felt like that he meant it.
Oh, do you know what? You're bringing me back to, I remember when I went into Ashery, there was a nun sister, Kathleen, I'm sure her name is, and she says to me, there was still a bit of COVID drills, and she says to me, you're crying out for help. And I just burst, and she put her arms out and she says, I know I'm not supposed to, but I'm going to do it anyway. And she gave me a hug, Davie, that you described off, until I just collapsed into her arms. It was like it was the fourth hug. And I mean, I had plenty of hugs off my sister and my ma and all those. But it was, I think that day I really needed someone to hold me like that and say to me, it's going to be okay. Because I didn't know everything was going to be okay that day.
Yeah, exactly.
And so for someone to put out their arms.
To hear that.
And it's like they know it's what you need in that moment of time. Loads of people hugged you and you're like, oh, leave me alone today, But one of those hugs, I know what you're talking about, baby.
And I was bleeding unreal, like, and then Anthony became a sponsor.
Is Anthony your sponsor? Yeah, I didn't know that.
Now, we're not in contact now, like, well, we're friends, obviously.
Yeah.
But we don't do any of the work together now, like, but if we do feel fucked up or anything,
you can reach out.
I can ring each other, or I can ring anybody. There's Wheeler is there. See Wheeler. Wheeler was really great.
Yeah.
Right.
I met him somewhere or something. I'm trying to think where it was, because I didn't know it was him. He had a hat and all on him. And I was like, I think I was at a meeting. I said, Wheeler, I didn't even know it was you.
In my first 12 months around the Wheeler, me and him were doing everything together.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Every single day for the first about 12 months. In recovery. You know what I mean?
Where are you at now with it, Davie? Like, so how long are you now? How long?
I had a few drinks. About 4 times since Nico died.
So in the past 3 years?
Yeah, well, Nico was what? I put down the drugs when Nico died. The penny dropped when Nico died.
Yeah.
Because I remember walking into the church that morning and walking in, and Debbie had me by the hand and she said, don't put us through this again.
Oh.
And it hit me.
Yeah.
Because me looking through clear lenses and looking at the devastation around his coffee.
You have them little light bulb moments and you see it for what it really is, don't you, Davie?
And I promise, Debbie. So, if I'm going to kill me, it's not going to be drugs. It's not going to be drugs. You know what I mean?
Not today, Davie.
Not today.
Not today.
Not today. You know what I mean? Like, back in the day, I used to love drugs when you when we were working for them.
When it was fun.
When it was fun.
Who didn't, Davie?
Fun's gone out of it.
It goes. It's too much for too long, Davie. And then we're doing it for the wrong reasons.
It's not really. I used to live to use. But then when it becomes using just to live.
Because you have
just to get out of
just
bed,
to survive.
Just to get into a shower.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No.
And pulling yourself up and down trying to fucking make
it's over for you then, Davie.
It's done.
It's over. It's over.
Done.
And look, I would hope today that, you know, and I know you have to take care of yourself and continue to do the right thing because it's cunning, baffling and powerful. And then I like the future for me, I have a future. Like it's in the very small things. You know, my younger and you want to have this and you want to have that and it's not, you know, that's all changed for me in recovery, Davie. You know,
materialistic stuff.
It goes out the window, doesn't it, for you?
I always say, and I always even say to people in my life, and you know they're struggling. Do you know, because I can hear it in their voices even. I'm saying, always remember, you cannot fix an internal problem with it.
And it took me a long time for that to sink in with me.
It's an inside job.
You really have to go in and do the soul searching. And go back. For me, I had to go back to the whole childhood and go through the stages. Some people don't want to, but for me to get well. Like, so all the questions I asked you and I bring you through the timeline, if so you were 16 and 18, it was so important for me to recognise who I was and why I was behaving the way I was. And then that led me to where I was at later in life, Davie. You know, I felt like I couldn't do it by just talking about today and hoping for tomorrow. I had to go right back.
You had to strip yourself.
Had to strip everything back for me. I do want to talk.
Like peeling an onion.
And some of us have very fucking large onions, don't we, Davie? I want to talk a little bit about what you're doing. I'm just looking at the time. We're about an hour 16. But tell us a little bit what you do now and what your live is called and what that does for people.
It's called Over Addiction, and it's a platform that's set up for people that's out there, and I know there's a lot of people that just be out there isolating and they don't get themselves out the meetings and you know what I mean. And it's a kind of safe place for when they're sitting in their house and they can come onto the live, and even if they just listen and take something from it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's great, like, for that.
Yeah,
and my partner Sonia, she's been amazing.
You were telling me a little bit about Sonia on the way in the car because I don't know her, so
she's great. She is.
Yeah, she sounds so good, Davie.
Like even Jennifer says, and even Sonia, Debbie sent her to me.
Well, but the story about how you met was lovely. I was like, oh, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, because she used to follow Jennifer's running club. And she always thought it was Jennifer's brother. And, she texted Jennifer or something. Oh no, that was a blah blah whatever. And so she sent me a friend request, and I sent it out. We started talking about Jennifer first.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like, and I always said to Debbie, like, before Debbie died.
Debbie is your eldest sister. Yeah.
She had cancer, stage 4 cancer, and I was in recovery. You know what I mean? I had a few deaths in recovery, but I didn't have to use up.
Isn't that amazing, Davie?
And I'm in the hospital. I used to go to the hospital every morning to Debbie, and that's why I got 1111 tattooed.
I was wondering what that was too. Yeah, what I meant.
I used to bring her up at poached eggs and tiger bread. Right? And I just started smuggling that bread, salt and pepper, because they would give it to her. Okay. It's part of the hospital, you know. So, but me and Debbie used to reminiscing on old times, and I got that gift with her. Lying in the bed, watching old films. Do you know what I mean? She hadn't got all the time when she found us asleep to get out of the bed. How lovely is that, Davie? Do you know what I mean? But every time we were eating at dinner, because you did the little clock in the room, 11:11. So me and her had a little moment. She knew she was going. Yeah. We spoke about it. And I was saying, if there's anything, because I always wanted to ask somebody, if there's anything beyond here, can you send me signs? She said, I will. I will. And I believe there is something beyond here. So, never forget, I was down in Dublin in Dockers, so I was living with Docker and Pepper. And they believed great. I have to believe.
So good to you, Davie.
Lovely to me. I loved you the bits. Esther's like me man. She sits me down and tells me how it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And we all
And
need
the
one
fear
of
kicks in
them.
then.
We all need one of
That's
them,
one fear that
Davie.
happens, well,
Yeah.
you know.
Good.
But but Debbie, we sit down, we 11:11, and she says, "Will you do me a favour?" She says, "Stamp that when I go."
Stamp.
11:11. So after she passed, I flew in. I got a unit.
Okay.
11:11. So he says, "Will you send me signs, will you, please?" You know what I mean? Because we are accepting that.
You are able to talk about it.
We talk about
yeah.
it, you know what I mean? And we talk about my addiction. And I made me amends with her and Duns.
And done.
And Duns over breakfast.
Okay.
I made me amends with Jen and Blade McDonald's.
Okay.
Jennifer's fucking great. Jennifer's like my daughter.
Yeah.
She ran to every prison. She had a bogey ID because she was too young to get into prisons. They get in to see me and Nico in prison. And made sure that we had money. Made sure we had runners.
Yeah.
Well, me, obviously.
Imagine at that young age.
At that
She'd
young
be
age.
so
Do you know what I mean? And she
concerned.
came from Wheatfield, Galway, Mountjoy, you name it, every clean prison around. She went to the whole lot. And she was playing brilliant. But going back to that, I never knew that Paul, Bernard and Debbie was after having that conversation as well about science.
Okay.
So Paul was at taking work off. I was in Dockers. And he took a few months off. But he didn't know when he was back.
Yeah. Paul's Debbie's husband.
Husband, yeah. He played great. Some father. But I'm in Dockers, we're having a dinner. And my phone was upstairs, I think. And someone says, your phone is ringing. So it was Paul there. Come down. And he was crying. I said, bollocks, he's at the hint of what?
Yeah.
He's at the hint. So I flew down, what's going on? I know about the Swedes. My boss is at the meeting. So what's that got to do with back on the 11th, which was 3 weeks or so away.
So she spoke to him and you about sending the sign, and you went and got the tattoo, and then
because we always had a breakfast together every morning in the matter.
At 11:11.
And every time you look at the clock, you say, look, 11:11. And I never got them signs before. But yes, today I still get them.
Wow.
And even the family, they put it in the family group and all, when it comes up 11:11. You know what I mean? My uncle does it. My bud, he does it.
Isn't that so comforting?
You know what I mean?
Though, Davie, too. I had the conversation with my daughter about death, and she obviously she lost her father at 12, and it's a parent to lose a child to lose a parent. But I says I've thought about it as in we all have X amount of time here on earth with the people who still living, and I says to her, the more I feel like I'm in recovery or the older I'm getting, I don't know what it is, but I'm less afraid, Davie, of dying. In addiction, I was like, if I die today, I'll die screaming because of the mess I'm leaving and the chaos and the kids and the way everything was. But the more I'm repairing everything and have them good relationships, I'm less scared of leaving.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I says to her, what if, there is a heaven and all the people that we've lost is up there. They had that time on earth. It was time for them to go, and they're there. And when I die, I get to be in their community again and be back with all the people I lost. Yeah. But for now, I'm still on earth with all you guys, so I got to be the best person while I'm here. But I look forward to seeing those people and opening their arms and running to them, Davie. And, I missed you so much. Yeah. And then what I do is, so I'm here now and I can't, all the people that died, I don't get to see now. Yeah. But then when I do die, I'm waiting up there to see the people that's still here till they come up to me. So what, it's just a waiting game all the time. Exactly. Do you know what I mean?
See, it's fate. That's fate.
Yeah.
And that's what my old platform, but I got hacked, and I had to set this new one up. And that was, my old one was called Faith Over Addiction.
Okay.
Right? But you have some people, it's like when you're in the meetings and you hear the God word.
And it turns them.
And it turns people and you run.
Yeah.
So a friend of mine, Carl, he's great stuff, and he comes around and says, Davie, calling it faith, people are going to think of higher powers and like that, the God stuff and blah, blah.
You have to be careful with it, Davie, you do.
So I was thinking, like, what have I got? What have I got? The only thing I ever fucking had was a bit of hope. So I called it Hope Over Addiction. Do Do you know what I mean? So like, and every time when somebody comes on, and that's what it's about, giving people that bit of hope when they're struggling.
Because isn't once you have that bit of hope, you can do wonders then, Davie.
Yeah, and then my partner is not in recovery. My partner doesn't even drink.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why I was saying, Debbie sent her
to
me. It took me out of the area. We had it once.
I know, because when I rang you last night, I was like, where are you? Can you make it as far as... I didn't know whether you were still in the city or where you were. And when you said something, I was like, sure, where's that? I didn't know. You know, I heard of it. But for you, that's at the minute, like where you're at in your life, being away, that bit of separation is great for you. Like you have a routine out there in peace. And
me, Sonia, and we have the dog.
Yeah, you're telling me.
And I love, like, Bailey, I'll bring him out on his walk. You know what I mean? Me and her will go on the walk, but, do you know what I mean? Like, and there's no jealousy. There's no animosity against anybody. Her and sex, man, they're on fucking great.
Do they? That's brilliant to hear. How many kids have you got now, Davie?
4 kids, but I don't see 2 of the kids, which is understandable.
I was wondering, and I was thinking about it, and I knew you had Zach for Nicola, and then I knew you had an older, but I lost touch in my head. Yeah. So you're 4.
He's 37 now, just I think. Yeah, and 4. But the 2 girls now, like, I don't really too much into it because
that's okay.
I can't, when I come into recovery, it's like expectations, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I had that topic as well.
Yeah.
That was the topic last night.
Was it?
Was on expectations. What do we expect? Because we get clean.
You want everyone else to jump on board, and that's not how it works, Davie.
Yeah, so you have to place your expectations low in this stuff.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I ruined my relationship with your daughters.
Yeah, because a lot of damage.
I even ruined it with Zach.
Yeah.
With Zach as a man, he's more understanding.
He was able to come around.
Life. Do you know what I mean? He's in my life, and he's played great. But do you know what the good thing about it is, Lisa? He rings me today for advice.
Oh, that's just, isn't it?
Like, and he talk about he's playing, like, how he's really feeling about girls and how, like, what. And,
it's that connection, relationship.
And I'll be telling him, this is something, if you don't want children, you want to travel the world, you want to battle you up. You know what I mean? Well, I'll be out straight with him. And the Nicola one, like, she's real. You know, like, she's friends at that. The way do you talk to him? It says, we talk man to man.
Of course. And every boy
is an adult. Do you know what I mean? So look at but now I found one of my daughters there. I see her on thing and all. They always send out love hearts and that on it. She's expecting a boy.
Oh,
you know what I mean? So
brilliant, Davie.
Yeah, and then my other daughter has 2.
So you're a granddad.
I'm granddad 4 times.
4 times, Davie.
2 as well. David has 2 kids. And but like I don't get to see any of them, Lisa. But for me, it's my own doing.
You can understand it, Davie. You have acceptance.
I accept it.
Yeah.
I accept it. Like, will I ever have a relationship? I don't know. I can't answer that.
But you're doing the best you can for today.
For today.
Do
you know what I mean? Like, it's not going to set me back.
No.
Because I have to remember I was the one doing the damage. Do you know what I mean? And I've done a lot of work on myself around acceptance. And even in the deaths.
I've always said acceptance has been a massive part.
Yeah.
You have to accept where you're at today, how people are with you, what you've lost, what you have. Without acceptance, you're going to have resentment. And resentment brings you back to that place.
It's a number 1 offender.
Number 1 offender for
anybody in
recovery.
So 1 offender.
I totally understand what you're saying.
So what I do now when it comes to that, it's like when in early recovery I used to have a lot of resentments. And you know what I mean? And they were still a part of me problem. Do you know what I mean? But I learned how to kind of adjust with it. And I'll be able to turn around and just cut people out.
Yeah.
When they're not for me.
Yeah.
Unless the family, I'll sit down and I'll talk to them.
But isn't that just protecting yourself and having self-love?
Family, I can't just brush aside. I'll sit and I'll talk with them. And I'll be accountable for my actions. I'll admit my faults.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I'll own up to my part. If anything does come up, which it doesn't now, Thank God.
Because now you're part of the solution and not the problem, Davie.
You know,
yeah.
When it's people from outside
that
I've just met in meetings or even over the years, that they're just not blood and they against whatever I do, because I don't have to put on this mask anymore. Isn't
it just so freeing, Davie?
It's great because I'm Davie now, right? So it's either you like the old Davie, which is gone, and accept the new Davie, or you're just not in the circle.
Yeah. And that's okay.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, but you know what? There's certain people who have done that their whole lives.
Yeah.
And that's just how they operate.
Yeah.
But I find like you'll explain that and I will explain that. Now I have to protect my own peace and I have to like move on with my life and I don't want chaos and I don't want whatever.
Yeah.
And we nearly feel like we have to explain being that person because it's such a difficult thing for us to do, Davie. And there's people their whole life that's just like, hold on a minute.
Yeah.
You're not good for me. You turn around there because they've always protected their peace.
Yeah, of course.
But we grew up in so much chaos and madness that wasn't part.
No, it wasn't, because we react all the time.
Constant reaction. Yeah.
Every time somebody would say something out of the place to me, I'd react straight away and I want to kill that fucker.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I want to go have a letter on this fella. Do you know what I mean? But like today, it's like, I sit down and say, hold on a minute, what's my part in this? Well, you don't know.
Yeah.
I don't to play in that way. And even when people come to me today and they turn around and say, did you hear what thing is that being saying about you and blah, 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 blah. I said, come here, let's say something for me. He's talking about me, he's leaving someone else alone.
Yeah, I know.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That ain't my problem.
Yeah. But
if
it doesn't.
He has a vendetta against me because I'm doing the next right thing. He needs to go and have a look at himself.
Says more about him than it does about you, Davie.
He needs to do more work on himself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I still say hello to the man.
Of course.
Because you'll have to see where they're at.
Yeah.
You know,
and then I think we can understand people when they're like that because they're still full of hurt inside and they haven't gotten to work on themselves. And when people is like that, Davie, you know that's why they're behaving and speaking like that. And look, we're still human at the end of the day. I always say that. Look, I'm just watching the time here, Davie. We're at 1:30.
Yeah.
But is there anything else before I ask the question that I always ask at the end? Is there anything else you want to add? I could say, I wish people listened to 3-hour podcasts because I'd let it go for 3 hours, but it might be a bit long.
No, I just wanted to say about Sonia. No, like as you were saying there, I didn't finish that. She was put me path for a reason. And I used to believe in coincidences.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I believe in the facts like that. People are putting your path for a reason.
Everyone for a reason.
Everybody for a reason, do you know what I mean? And for me, I always say that Debbie done it. Debbie done it. Because I love her there with her. We've no drama. We don't argue over stupid petty stuff. Like we're with each other just over a year and not one argument have we had. Like we can sit and we can talk.
That's disagreeing is healthy. Having a disagreement is healthy.
Down and talk with somebody and make a solution out of a little problem. It's fucking big fucking thing.
Do you know what I think it is?
You know what I mean?
It's not that you could never talk, but to feel like someone is hearing you.
Yeah.
Right? And that you're able to listen now.
Yeah.
Isn't that communication?
Yeah, of course.
So, I mean, that's what it sounds like that you have, Davie, there. You have a relationship where she sees you, she hears you, but you do the same. You give the same back to her. Just give and receiving there.
Of course,
And isn't that what makes an amazing relationship?
Now you have it.
Isn't it?
It does. It does.
It's that
and you know what? The foundation to a relationship is honesty and love. Honesty and trust.
Trust. I was just about to say that. If
honesty
you can
and trust.
They are massive, and without them, you never.
It's like the foundation in your first step. If you haven't got a 4 step in you, there's no point.
You're not getting well.
Going on down the other 11 steps.
Why don't we start a program for relationships, Davie? We do step 1, honesty and trust.
Your relationships, Lacey. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, the mothers and my kids are amazing. They're amazing. Do you know, I get on great with them all.
Yeah,
I get on great with them. Now, I haven't seen Lisa, that's the eldest young one's ma, in a long time, but last time we had a great conversation.
Yeah, when you do see her, you're able to have a good conversation.
Do you know what I mean? And then, You're a young man, great conversations with. Karen, David's man, she was my first love. Do you know what I mean? I wrote that. Do you know what I mean? But I accept it.
You're very
Do you know what I mean? Because
well,
it was my doing.
I'm not being funny with you, but if you're involved in criminality and you're suffering from addiction, it'd be very hard not to ruin a relationship and you're in a prison, Davie.
Yeah, of course.
It'd be very difficult. And I don't think any of us grow up. It doesn't matter whether it's Charles Street or whether it's North County Dublin or whatever it is. No one comes into this world and wants to be an addict, wants to be in and out of prison, wants to be involved in crime, wants to fuck up being a mother, when that's a natural instinct. Yeah. None of us will tick a box and say, yeah, I'll have that. Thanks very much.
It's like years ago. I always wanted what all the other fellas in the industry had, but I didn't want to be that addict that I see in the industry.
Why wouldn't you want it?
For a bikini.
Of course. It was like I always wanted more as a child.
Yeah.
And I knew the only way of getting more was to do what everyone else was doing in the area.
Yeah.
But I was too young to realise there was massive consequences.
Yeah.
And if there were consequences, they were other people's, they weren't mine. But then when I realised the effects that they were having on my own life, and then on my kids, because I was a young mother like yourself.
Exactly.
So look, I think sitting here and connecting with people from where I was from, and I'm looking at how well you look like. It's unbelievable, Davie. And your whole face lights up when you smile and you get those slanted eyes as well.
Yeah.
But I said to my ma, when I was having you down, and I said, even if Davie wasn't well and was still in addiction, I would still say to him, come and talk to me. Because even at your worst, when we'd often bump into you, and my ma spoke about when she met you at the Halfpenny Bridge and you weren't great. This was going back a good few years ago. Yeah. And you are always, even at your worst, you are a lovely guy. And you said, Lisa, my ma and the family I grew up in, you could always see, sometimes you have to search in someone to see their goodness when they're in a bad place. Yours was always shining, Davie. I know, honestly, and I genuinely, I never say, I never say things just to be nice or to put our people up on this. But I said it to me, man, last night on the phone. You're a beautiful soul. You always have been. And I know that you had your struggles and that can bring out the darker side of us. But underneath all of that, sitting here with you today, you've just this light that radiates off you. And it's on your face and all. Every time you do that smile, I'm laughing at you. But I have one more question for you. So I ask everybody at the end, because it's obviously tear down these walls. If you could tear down one wall, either externally or internally, what would it be so people could move forward into a better future?
Like for other people.
For yourself or other people, what would...
Not for myself, because I know what to do working on myself. But for people to surrender. Do you know what I mean? The drugs don't work.
That's the first I've had that on.
Surrender. There's a better life out there. There's a better life out there. Like, do you know what I mean? Like recovery is amazing. It's amazing. You don't need a substance to communicate in the world, to function in the world. Do you know what I mean? And like for me, I broke down that wall of addiction with my family. Because I was the only one left with the disease of addiction.
Yeah, because
I smashed that one.
Yeah, and you know what? I know that has. It's like when you're in the addiction, it has a knock-on effect on everyone in such a negative way, especially the closest to you. But recovery is the dominoes effects in the opposite direction, and it really affects, your whole house, your kids, your ma, your sister, your brother, because we have this new way of being and living.
Yeah.
And we really find the human side of us that we couldn't when we were too young or we didn't know better, Davie.
Yeah, exactly.
I had this was really, really nice for me, this conversation, because I only haven't seen someone in so long.
Oh, yeah.
And I said to myself, what am I worried for? I'm not even going to feel awkward around Davie after 2 minutes. Yeah. You rang me, what coffee would you like? Sat in the car, and I was like, I knew I wasn't feeling any awkwardness or any type of, and it's just gotten better the longer you've been. Be yourself.
And you know what? Life is manageable.
Oh my God, Davie. And come here, I don't wake up without, sort of worrying about X, Y, and Z,
Exactly. This is a simple program for complicated people.
And isn't that such a true saying?
I use a complicated opening the pack potato. You have to be honest.
You go the long way. You go the long way by opening the pack up.
Do you know what I mean? Like, come here, like, just to get this and just...
And sorry, go ahead, sorry.
I heard you, I think I heard you on the podcast last night, and it resonates with me as well. You can make this suggestions, but they're not only suggestions about the action.
You need the action. You can think about it, Davie, all day.
Every day.
I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. It's a program of action. You got to get up and do it.
Get up and do it.
Get up and do it. Step into it.
If it doesn't work, we always say it at a meeting. Look, it's a program, a simple program for complicated people. Try it. If it doesn't work for you, the misery is refunded at the door.
You can have it back.
You can have it back. It's not going anywhere, it's getting worse. Do you know what I mean? Look, come here.
It's a great way of looking at it.
Because I ain't going with you. But you carry a message, but I cannot carry it now.
No, you really can't. And you can ask, these are the suggested things to do, Davie.
That was done for me.
That was done for me. And this is what works, because I'm living proof it works.
Yeah, and it's here and it's free.
Yeah. Davie, I'm going to, what about 1:40? I'm going to, it was an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much.
That's very awesome.
And if you ever want to come back, and just to say, your pod, it's called The Live, and it's on TikTok.
My platform is on TikTok. It's at 10 o'clock every evening.
Okay.
For an hour.
What's it called?
An hour and a half.
It's called
Hope Over Addiction.
Hope Over Addiction. And it's on TikTok. So for anybody there that's isolating and wants to...
struggling with addiction, struggling in recovery. You know what I mean?
For
that peace of mind.
They can jump on.
Just they connect. That's another thing I just wanted to say, because my partner, she's not in recovery, and Sonia has a WhatsApp page set up for ladies only.
Okay.
And she's a lot of them in now from the life. And they can communicate with each other through that.
So if they wanted to get into that WhatsApp group, what would they do? They would
contact me on the live, and on private DM the number to be partner. I do announce it at night, and she asks them into the group. And what the whole idea around that is getting people on the live, get connected, girls connected with girls.
Brilliant.
The men stick with the men.
Yeah.
Because and
I know the way it can go, and I think women do have other things to talk about, and they want to do it a bit privately.
And she's organising to try to get them to meet up for copies, and you know what I mean, and probably a game of bowling, a game of bingo, whatever the case may be. A bit of fun. Get them out of their comfort zone of their own home.
Yeah, the isolation.
Come out and face the fear. And you see, everybody's in the same boat.
It sounds like you and Sonia is a powerhouse together, Davie. And I'm so happy for you. And, you know, you and the family, I've always said that, you know, your brothers, I've known them all growing up. And Pato was more similar age.
Yeah, he's the youngest.
I think I used to fancy Midgie on the corners. I used to look up to him. We went out with a cousin of mine. He thought I was buying or getting a new jeans. And I used to think so when I was a kid. I did. I had a little crush on him. But
married away now.
Tell him I said hello anyway. I'm sure if he listens. But thanks so much, Davie. And I usually end it with just a hug.
Thanks very much, Lisa.
Thanks, Davie.
Thanks very much for having me, though.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Davie.
So.
Okay.